get ready to be sick of me again because I just got laid off again for the second time within 12 months. I work in corporate fashion, corporate retail. I majored in fashion like 6 years ago. And yeah, thank you, Trump, for all the tariffs and the oncoming recession. It's really amazing for retail. No one is spending money, and that's costing me my job. So, love you guys. If anyone wants to hire me, I'm really fun and really cool. But in the meantime, I'm back in my unemployment era. It's gonna be posting on TikTok. You're gonna be sick of me. I hope you're ready.
Today we're diving into a topic that is becoming way too common and shouldn't be common at all. Thousands and thousands of people are getting laid off with little to no explanations and even a very short notice. Some do not even have a notice. They just tell you right there and then. These companies want you to give them a 2 weeks notice. And while there's like a bunch of headlines that are talking about the numbers of people that are actually laid off, I want you guys to actually see the real people that are behind those numbers that the companies might be placing. Or you might just see a bunch of headlines saying, oh, 20,000 people have been laid off, this, that, and that. Let us actually see and hear from the real people, the people that actually experience this. They're individuals, they all have their stories, they all have their pains and all the plans that they have, and they have their family, they have a life, because they're actually real people behind those numbers. Before we get right into this video, I want to give a very big shout out to Jody for sending me a $2 super thanks. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. And a very big shout out to Leroy for sending me a $2 super thanks. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Please click the like button, it helps with the algorithm, and I appreciate you so much. Let's get right into this video.
I just got laid off, and here's what I wish more people talked about. There's no warning. One day you're in your meetings, working, and the next day you're just off the org chart. Even when you know it's not about your performance, you're still left there wondering why and what you did wrong. Then you're left in survival mode. You're left there wondering about housing, food, cost, and you just start doing the math. Then you spend hours tailoring your resume, making sure that cover letter is all right, just to not get heard from and ghosted. If you've been laid off recently, you're not alone, and you're not the problem. The system is cold, but we don't have to be.
I got laid off from my accounting job where I was making nearly $300,000 a year. And in the spirit of transparency, keeping it real, I'm gonna talk about that journey, what it was like finding out, to the breakdown and severance and everything in between. So if you do wanna follow that journey, make sure to hit that follow, because I'm gonna post the follow videos on top of this one. The first thing I'm gonna talk about is the day that I found out. So for me, I didn't see this coming because they had layoffs in 2021, again in 2023, and then in 2024. And for me, I was like, there's no way they're gonna do another round of layoffs within a year of already having done one. So it just caught me by surprise. And that morning when they announced it, my phone was dead. And normally I check my phone for emails or Slacks or anything that's going on that I need to respond to. And my phone was off, and I got in around like 9:30. When I got in, that's when I saw all the announcements, and the announcements came in at like 6 or 7 in the morning internally, and then externally it was a little bit after that. Then I saw an email that had a calendar invite, and the calendar invite was with the HR person and my controller, and I missed that meeting. So that meeting was at like 8:30, and because I got in at like 9:30, it was a little later than that. It was like 15-minute meeting, and I reached out to the HR person and the controller, and I asked them, hey, do you still need to meet? I already know, I'm getting laid off, but do you still need to meet on anything? And they said no. So I didn't really get like a, why or, how they made that decision. But for me, I just took it as like, being grateful. So I sent a message to the controller and I said, hey, thank you for the opportunity to lead the team. I'd worked with her for 2.5 years. So definitely wanted to be, gracious on my exit. Reached out to my direct manager, who I also did not meet with, and just said the same thing. Just thank you for, helping me grow in my career, and thank you for, giving me the opportunity. The only people I met with were people that were, kind of friends of mine. Along the way, I met some friends, working friends, and then my team. I met with my team and gave them some parting words, and mostly just told them like, hey, I hope they see your value, and I hope they promote you. I hope there's not another round of layoffs soon. And just said thank you to them for being a great team. The other crazy part was like we had, up until the end of the day to basically say our goodbyes, turn in any loose ends that we had, because at the end of the day, they were gonna cut access off. And for me, I downloaded some personal items from my computer, But other than that, I said my goodbyes, and then I hopped off for the rest of the day. It was a strange feeling because I had never been laid off. I've got fired from my first job at Deloitte, but I'd never been part of a layoff where I didn't have an explanation as to why. So it was a weird, feeling for me. And I had to really strategize what I was going to do next. But the severance definitely helped. And if you do want to know what that severance looked like, I'm going to talk about it in the next video. So if you do want to know what that breakdown looks like for somebody making $300,000 a year, make sure to hit that follow, leave a like, leave a comment. Love y'all. Peace.
I think the hardest part of being laid off is really realizing that these people are just not your friends. I worked with these people for 2 years. I got laid off in August. It is now the end of January. I have not heard from anybody, not one person. But what I can see is them looking at my LinkedIn, stalking my LinkedIn. I could see you when you do that. But it's you work with these people for years and they don't care about you. But then on the other hand, if you aren't social with them, then you're a bitch and you are also on the chopping block, so you can't win. Now, I was not laid off due to any performance. In fact, my performance was phenomenal. I blew it out the water. I know my salary was a little bit higher than everyone else's, so I'm just gonna chalk it up as that. But when you're either not personable enough or too personable, you will always be on the chopping block, especially if you're a person of color. I have to So I gotta overlaugh, overperform, go to these happy hours that I probably don't even want to go to because honestly, I don't like drinking at work no more. All for y'all to just forget about me. I have to create fake friendships that take my energy from my real people for y'all really not to give two craps about me. Anyway, I'm interviewing today. I have 4 interviews this week. I've just done 1. I have 1 more today and then 2 more later on this week. Wish me luck, guys. I really need a job.
It didn't really hit me until now because my coworkers started messaging me. I lost my appetite after that. I still haven't had a call with my manager yet, but my biggest takeaway is don't let your job work you. What's even more messed up is they laid me off right before rewards and bonus season. And also they're deducting my severance pay from 2 weeks or something, so I'm really not even getting that much severance. And yes, I work at a big tech company. You can probably guess where I got laid off from. Also, they laid me off at the beginning of my vacation as I took off, so I have my severance package, but I can't receive it until I return the laptop, the corporate card, that stuff. But how am I supposed to do that? And I lose access to any work-related information this week. And I'm not in New York. Corporate America really gives 0 shits about you. They worked me to the bones for a high-value client and then just got rid of me. So, yeah.
So yesterday I was laid off for my job, my very cushy, very nice trucking job. And that's all good. I got 2 interviews. I'm on my way to 1 right now. They're both better paying jobs. One of them is even closer to my house. But that's actually not what I want to talk about. Yesterday, while I was on that phone call, one of the drivers that was getting laid off, he said, "Hey guys, so you request a 2 weeks notice from us when we're going to leave. In fact, last year I did give you a 2 weeks notice. I decided to leave. I found a better job and I put in my 2 weeks and you guys talked me out of it. You said, no, we're going to give you a raise," which you did. But I would be in a much better job right now. But you can't be bothered to give us a 2 weeks notice. Hey, you're about to lose your income. We have to give you, a multi-billion-dollar company, 2 weeks to find our replacement. But you can't be bothered to give us the same courtesy. The boss said, this is not a decision leadership makes lightly. And the driver said, that's not what I'm asking you. Then he said, there's not much more I can tell you. I'm sorry things are the way they are. And that was that. Let this be a reminder that you can be as loyal as a dog to a company. And when they decide to let go of you for whatever reason, they're moving on. And there's nothing you can do about that. And also, we're done giving 2 weeks notices. Courtesy is a two-way street. And if I can't expect that from you, don't expect it from me. Have a great one.
We do ask that you sign. Do you have any questions for us now?
No, I don't.
Section of force.
Let us.
Thank you.
All right, Aiden. Well, okay.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Don't even cry. Everything always happens for a reason. Everything always happens for a reason. Everything literally always happens for a reason. Oh my god, I'm applying to jobs right now because I got laid off. And one of the applications is requiring that you watch this video from the CEO and that you give them your feedback and just like your thoughts. Please watch this. This is so bad.
To build something truly amazing. And we need individuals who are jacked about the opportunity to become something greater than they even thought possible, to join our team. We will be accountable to you and you will be accountable to us. We will help you achieve your dreams and your goals, and you are going to work like hell to help us achieve ours. I'll tell you that our employees work between 40 and 45 hours a week here, and they work on themselves between 5 and 15 hours above and beyond that because they want to become great. If you're used to just punching in and punching out and not having to worry about work or trying to live the whole work-life balance thing, I can guarantee you, you will not like it here. Please stop applying and find something more cushy. We are truly trying to do something great, and we believe that in order to do that, you actually have to do the opposite of balance. You have to be all in. You have to be obsessed with leveling up, with achieving amazing results, and by continuing to improve yourself. If this sounds like you, continue the application.
I have no words.
This video is a reminder that behind all those companies trying to restructure, headcount reduction, to cut people off, to get more profits, things like that, behind every of those things, actually people who have life plans, people who have devoted their time, their years into a company and put in so much work, behind all those things, actually real people who are dealing with so much pain.
So I just got laid off on a random Wednesday from my job of over 2 years. And it's okay. I had honestly been looking for other roles. Funny enough, this morning actually, I had a Zoom with a company that I had 3 interviews with, and they wanted to Zoom me with an update. And I thought, oh, this could be an offer, right? Why would they reject me over a video call? So lo and behold, it was a rejection over video call, and they made sure to tell me that it was super, super close between me and one other person, and for no real reason, they went with the other person. And I was like, okay, I'm really bummed, but it's fine because I still have a job. And you know what? Only a few hours later, I no longer have that job. So with that being said, I'm taking this opportunity to pitch myself. If you are hiring in influencer marketing, content strategy, even social media strategy, I have over 6 years of experience working in a 9-to-5 role in both the fashion industry as well as beauty and wellness. And then I've been creating content on social media for over 10 years now. But I know so many people are dealing with this right now, so just know you are not alone, and happy Wednesday.
Hey, get ready with me to give you an update. I'm getting laid off. I did not mean to leave some of you guys hanging on that last video. I did get laid off. Like 10 minutes after I finished filming that video, I hopped on the call and was let go. And it felt just as icky as I thought it was going to. I spent the rest of my Friday not as calm, cool, and collected as I was in that video. I was very upset. I think I was not prepared fully for how, I don't know what other word to use besides icky it feels to get laid off. Discarded, almost. To go from being trusted, high-performing employee literally the day before to, completely discarded, cold emails, cold call, access shut off. It's jarring. It's a shock to the system. And I think on Friday, my body tried to bypass feeling the icky feelings and my brain just went into problem solving mode. What am I gonna do? How am I gonna fix this? What's my next move? I have to figure this out right now, today. And it was a lot. I feel like my fellow eldest daughters and overachieving, hyper independent girlies will get this, but when you grow up and kind of get your sense of self and validation from academic achievements, I feel like you then grow up getting that validation through work, and your sense of self comes from being good at work and being a high performer, and your career achievements and your career milestones become very rooted in your identity. So then when something like this happens, it doesn't just feel icky because, you know, you're leaving a job, but it feels icky because it feels like an attack on your identity and your sense of self and your sense of worth. And I know my logical mind is like, that's not true, but there's, you know, that voice, that little girl who is like, I get so much love and attention when I come home with a straight A report card, who is freaking out when something like this happens. And it's hard to ignore that voice sometimes. I also think I was feeling all the feels because this job feels very connected to a specific time in my life. When I first got this job, it was around the same time that I got my first big girl apartment by myself. I had lived on my own, but with roommates, and it was just a very transformative period of my life. I was totally on my own. I feel like I made this new group of friends that was all my own through work, and it was just a time of a lot of growth, like in my career, in my personal life, in friendships, relationships. And so this feels like kind of the end of an era. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think I'm ready for that, but it's sad. Like I wanted to honor that. So anyways, Saturday and Sunday, I felt a lot better. I kind of really let myself feel those things, process them. I wasn't so hyper-focused on figuring out what the hell I'm gonna do next. And got a lot of support from my family, my friends, my coworkers. Everyone was so nice and down to help, and it just made me realize I'm gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be okay. I was also blown away by the support I got on the first video I posted. I was not expecting anyone to see that or care, and the amount of comments I got, I've read them all, just telling me everything's gonna be okay, and everyone telling their own stories about how they ended up in a better spot and giving advice and just being so supportive, seriously made me emotional. It was so nice, and dare I say, it made me kind of excited for this next chapter. I was reading through them Sunday night, and I was like, wow, it's gonna be okay. It's a little scary, but it's gonna be okay. One comment I saw really connected with me, and it said to feel everything fully and keep connecting with people. And I didn't realize how much that video was going to connect with others and how connected it would make me feel with strangers on the internet. But I don't know, I just thought that was great advice. And I mean, all of you guys were giving great advice. It was honestly a treat to read all your comments, but I don't really know what's next. And I'm going to give myself some grace figuring that out. I don't have to have it all figured out right now. But yeah, we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated. I don't know what's next.
Making videos on layoffs actually hits different because it's really sad, and behind the fact that, okay, people receive emails about layoffs or you're getting laid off, or for instance, or maybe let's say it's a video call, behind all those things actually a real person actually dealing with emotions, a lot of different emotions, like trying to figure out how to pay your rent, because we build our life based on, your paycheck. A person has already build up their life and all the bills that they need to do to survive in their daily life, and all of a sudden you're hit with this shocking news, and you have to start thinking as quick as possible, what am I going to do? You have companies who tell you that you guys are family, and all of a sudden you get cut off. There's so many emotions that people actually have to deal with. At the moment this type of thing just hits, your mind is actually thinking about so many things. You're thinking about, oh my god, you have to think the bills that you have, how are you going to pay them? If not that, how are you going to explain to your family that, see what just happened to you? You're trying to navigate all those emotions, different type of emotions are just running through the person, and it's really, really heartbreaking that this particular layoff situation is happening so much rapidly. It has been happening for years now, and it's just becoming way too much. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think about this, and if you're someone who's hiring, please just let it known in the comments, because you never know who is looking for a job and who you might be helping. So if you know of any job leads, just drop them in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching this video to the very end. I really appreciate you guys so much. Make sure you click the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new here and you're watching me for the very first time. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.